Hello, I'm the Cartooner. Today, in these last few weeks, last few months, these last few years, I'm feeling overwhelmed, to say the least. I think in a lot of ways I'm becoming overwhelmed, and it's kind of like my own fault. I'm not doing anything these days that I don't have the capability to do, but I do spend a lot of time overthinking my ability to actually do it. I'm still thinking about that pesky audience. The audience is always in the back of my head, and I'm thinking, oh God, am I making anything that's well? And actually, quite frankly, what I think is, no, I'm not making anything good enough. It's like I'm overwhelmed by like the state of the world to a point, right? I mean, I think as a lot of us are. I'm not necessarily like thrilled at my place in it and any of my abilities or skills, or like I don't even know if I know what I'm saying. I just like, in a word. Wait, 2 words? Is it 2 words hyphenated? It can be summed up in 1 word. Not hyphenated, not 2 words. Unappreciated. Not necessarily by anyone specific, but by just like, I just realized I'm coming to the same conclusion I often do. It's capitalism. It just makes a lot of people's lives really unnecessarily difficult. After all that, you might think, oh, what does any of this have to do with comics? Fair enough. But this is it. This is what I'm documenting. This is what I do all the time. I sit and I'm thinking about things, and I'm working through like the problems of the world. Though I'm just not very smart is the issue. And I'm also very nervous and anxious, and I'm also a cartoonist. So it's like I'm trying to kind of combine all those and to try to, I suppose in some way am I leaving a legacy? Is that what I'm concerned about? I don't even know. I think in some ways it's just wanting to make sure that the time I'm spending here is worthwhile. But I doodle and I draw and I think and I read and I watch videos. It sucks because like I'm doing like something all the time. It might not always look like I'm doing a lot. Really, this is a fault, but like I don't quite get enough done as I should or would like to. It sucks that there's no like monetary value on any of that, because it's like, yeah, I'm not producing anything for anybody, and I guess in the world that we live in, that makes me worthless, and it's just not a fun feeling. But it's what I'm thinking about. And so, and I have this page, spent a little while drawing it. It's 3 panels, 1 big establishing shot where I want to fill it with like all sorts of clutter and garbage and stuff, kind of like what's in here, but this will actually be a fun thing, because I'll have to tell a lot about the character and their life based on what you can see in the dark in their apartment, because it's the only light you'll be able to see is from the outside. Or maybe there should be one other source of light, but it should be shuttered. It probably doesn't show up at all on camera, but it shows up right here in my eyes and in my heart and in our minds. Yeah, because I had to think about the previous pages we saw the exterior of the apartment and there were windows. It might not, I might have done the angle wrong. Well, anyway, I'll fix it. These are the pencils. Mistakes are allowed to be made, and this is the thing. These kinds of things, they take a long time, and the end result, I worry, is not even like that good. Think about the YouTube videos I've made, whether it be these last few weeks or these last 10 years. Are any of them especially good? No. Is that in some respect the reason why none of them took off? I mean, at least in some respect, sure. But I made tons of other mistakes too. Like, and so again, we get to that point of like there not being monetary value to the things I'm doing, to the work that I'm doing, to the time that I'm spending. I don't know. And it's a lot. It's a lot. So you might be like, okay, well then what? You just want money for doing nothing or thinking or whatever? And it's like, no, I guess no. I don't want that either. I just, I don't know what I want. I want to not feel so overwhelmed. And then on top of that, just regular day-to-day life, and like I don't know how I'm supposed to keep up. Well, and I'm not. I'm doing a very bad job at it. This one kind of got serious again, huh? And so every artist's life is different, obviously. I definitely get the impression that I'm a lazy one, and the fact that I just don't seem to get enough work done, like actual like finished work. I feel like that shows a lot of insecurity as well. Like it's like, oh, you clearly don't believe in what you're doing, and it's kind of that. I'm like, I can clearly see my lack of skill. I can clearly see it's not what I want, and I can clearly see half the time I can't imagine anyone else liking it much either. I don't think I know what people want, and I think sometimes I don't even know what I want, which I think makes it hard to, I don't, there's a lot here, you know, you can see there's a lot that's jamming in there. It makes everything very complicated for no real reason. And yet, I mean, like you can see all the reasons are just that life happens and exists, and we're forced to be a part of it. Ugh. God, I don't know. Listen, I'll get back to you. Howdy, hey, Gangarino. Well, I guess I don't hate this, which is kind of an interesting feeling, I gotta admit. And honestly, not the point I thought we'd be ending this week. It's good. We've still got another big important step coming up. I haven't inked anything yet. Well, actually, that's not entirely true. I've inked a few things. And in fact, I've actually got a lot more done than I realized. Let's see. Page 1, page 2, page 3, double page 4 and 5, 6. This is the one I've inked. This is page 7. Needs to be a little touched up a bit, but otherwise it's nearly ready to be inked as well. 8 was one I was working on earlier. Needs just a little bit more work, and that'll be there. 9, and then 10 is the one on the table. So if my current idea, well, I don't know. I'm kind of going back and forth on this a little bit. And I guess really, now that I'm thinking about it, I could probably do both. But I'm curious what you'd think. Part of me wants to do this comic as like a standard, like 22-page issue. That, like, you know, you're like a monthly issue or whatever, which would mean I'd really have to start working a lot faster, but that's a the issue for another time. But then that would mean like printing it out and having it in like bound or whatever, stapled or glued issues or whatever, you know, and then being able to like distribute those somewhere. Then the other thing I was thinking was just posting it online as like a webcomic. I'm still not totally certain about how to like scan it in to make it like look good without like spending money. So we'll think about that, which I suppose that's the issue with printing, is also the money thing. Either way, next week, you know, if I've got 10 pages just sitting there uninked, well, I guess I've got 9 pages sitting uninked. I should ink next week, right? It's scary. I feel like did I say I was gonna do that this week, last week? I don't remember. I'm saying it now, and I'm gonna put this in the video, so I hold myself accountable in some sort of a way, because that's what the channel's about right now. It's about me, it's about making comics, well, it's about me making comics, and it's about me holding myself accountable by having to like consistently do a thing. Hey, and here we go, video number 3. When's the last time longtime people, I bet you ain't never seen me do something 3 times in a row, cause I'm a quitter. No, it's true though. It's true. It's something I'm working on. It's something I'm working on by doing this channel. So, anyway, so that's where I'm gonna wrap things up this week. The next week is gonna be an interesting balance of comics and other responsibilities. I spend a little Not a little. Let's be honest here. I spend a lot too much time. Wait, I need to be honest with myself. It's fine to sit and ponder a little, but not too much. Even while I'm sitting in there and the thinking, I should be doing something. I mean, really simply put, I should not keep being controlled by all this fear. Ugh, it's so frustrating. It's this constant insecurity that, I mean, if I don't get over it, this is just gonna constantly be this kind of torturous feeling of, oh my god, I'm never gonna make anything good enough. Anyway, I gotta keep rolling off on all these tangents. If you've enjoyed the video, please leave a like. I'd appreciate it. If you've really enjoyed it, I mean, maybe you'd even consider subscribing. The current plan has been, and will continue to be for the foreseeable future, videos every Friday. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you next week.